What's up everyone? Hello, my name's Kamahl. Welcome to another video. In the video today, we're going to look at the Diablo 4 Sorceress skills. Now, we've gone over the Druid, we've gone over the Barbarian. Today, we're going to look at the third and final class that they showed us. As I'm sure you're aware, last week, Friday, Diablo 4 was announced. It was shown. And with that, we got a first look, a first glimpse at each of the class's skills, each of the class's abilities, each of the class's talent trees. I guess the abilities and talent trees and skills, it all kind of, abilities could be either or, but whatever. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Sorceress skills. So, as I've said before, left click is generally going to be a generator, right click is going to be a spender. Although, it looks like, on the source, we don't generate mana, we just get mana back. So, your left skills are going to be, or left click, rather, are going to be your free skills. The ones that you can cast, the ones that you can use, the right click, as well as, you know, your 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 has either a mana cost or a cooldown, one or the other. Okay, so that's just where it's a little bit different. There's no generating of mana off of your left click. You just, I would assume, so assumingly you just regenerate it over time. But I digress. Long intro, long breakdown. Welcome. If you enjoy the video, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, all that kind of shit. Let's go over it. Left click abilities. The first one we have is lightning. So launch a bolt of lightning that deals X amount of damage and bounces to nearby enemies, dealing 30% less damage to each enemy hit. So it makes sense. It hits the enemy, bounces to another enemy, but it deals a little bit less damage. It does it again, but less damage. The standard lightning-based attack activities, I guess. Next, we have Firebolt. Firebolt hurls a flaming bolt that deals X amount of damage and burning nearby enemies for X amount of damage over 8 seconds. So, standard, you know, you throw the fire, it goes boom, and it burns everything. That's good fun. It's nice. Then we have Frostbolt. So, Frostbolt is going to be throws a bolt of frost at the enemy, dealing X amount of damage and chilling them. Chilling has reduced movement speed, and if you chill them enough, it will freeze it eventually, so it just stops them completely in place. Standard frost activities as well. The last one we have on the left click, so basically the free spammable no cost abilities, the basic bitch spells, I guess you could call them, is we have Arc Lash. So unleash arcing lightning that shocks enemies in front of you for X amount of damage and then returns to you, restoring X amount of mana. So I was wrong. It looks like Arc Lash does actually have a mana regen ability, so that may actually end up becoming the best in slot ability for the left click, but we don't know. We'll just have to see if there's a way to make the rest of your abilities work the same way or not. I honestly haven't looked at the talent trees, so I don't know. I guess we'll find out together. Next, we're going to go down and we're going to look at the right-click abilities. These abilities are going to be the ones that actually cost mana to use, so you have to actually pay to use these ones. So we have the first one as Charged Bolt. Charged Bolt, it costs 18 mana to use, and it releases 6 bolts of lightning that course along the ground in an erratic pattern, dealing X amount of damage each. So, basic Charged Bolt, you know, they're bringing it back. They're bringing it back. So the next one we have is Fireball. It is a mana cost of 30, and it says hurls a ball of fire that explodes on contact, dealing X amount of damage to nearby enemies. Next one we have is going to be Ice Shards. Ice Shards launches 5 shards that deal, looks like, small amount of damage each, but it does deal 200% more damage to frozen enemies. It costs 18 mana to use, and it once again tells us that chilling enemies continuously causes them to freeze, so if you can continue to pound them with the frost damage, you could potentially do a bit more damage with this ability here, but it's one of those things that you'll have to wait and figure out and see. It looks like there were some other things that were supposed to be there, but whatever. Whatever. So next we have Incinerate. Incinerate is 20 mana cost per second, so it's a channeling ability, and it says channels a beam of fire, burning enemies for X amount of damage. Damage increased by 30 per second, up to, it looks like a little bit over two times the damage that the base damage of it. The percentage could vary more or less depending on how high the rank the ability is. I don't know. That's just what we see now. Once again, first look, so we don't know. It's all a mystery. Next we have Chain Lightning, which is a mana cost of 35. Unleashes a bolt of lightning, dealing X amount of damage and jumping to 4 nearby targets. Then what we have is my all-time favorite ability in Diablo 2. I loved this ability in Diablo 2. Anybody that's watched my channel for a long time that remembers back when I used to play Diablo 2 a lot knows that this ability is my shit. I love Frozen Orb. Anyways. So, Frozen Orb. Mana cost of 40. Unleashes an orb that chills and expels piercing shards for a total of X amount of damage, and then it explodes into frost bolts. Once again, chilled enemies have reduced movement speed, and continuing to hit the chilled enemies has the chance to freeze them, which some abilities will do even more damage to. I will probably, when I play this, I will probably be a Frost Sorceress. You can almost guarantee it. It's not even really a question. There's going to be a werewolf druid, and there will be I wish I could make my lightning werebear source, but I don't think they're going to give me that option, so we'll make do. We'll do a werewolf druid and we'll do a frozen orb source, but I digress. I'm ranting, going off topic. Let's reel it back in and let's get back on here. So, for the number 1 ability slot, which is the defensive ability, it looks like a couple shields, a couple different things, CC abilities. Let's read through them. First one we have Flame Shield. So Flame Shield has a cooldown of 29 seconds, and it engulfs yourself in flames for 2 seconds, burning nearby enemies for 15 seconds. While Flame Shield is active, you are immune. So, that's pretty cool. And it says, while immune, you cannot be damaged, and all negative effects are removed and prevented. So, when you're immune, you're immune. Yeah, that's a thing. Next we have Ice Armor. Ice Armor, it looks like it doesn't have any type of cooldown or anything like that, but it says after not taking damage for 5 seconds, ice accumulates on you to absorb 112. So the 112, it is a numerical value that we just have here. It's going to vary, I'm sure, when it comes out. Could be really good, could be complete trash. We don't know. Next, we have Blizzard. Blizzard has a mana cost of 40. Summon a frigid blizzard that deals X amount of damage and chills enemies over 6 seconds. Once again, I'm not going to read it. You know what chilling does. Then we have Teleport. Now, I don't believe this teleport is going to be the same type of teleport that we saw back in the day, but let's see. It says cooldown of 22 seconds and transforms into lightning, becoming immune and surging to the target location. So it's kind of cool, but yeah, it's not the same teleport. It's not the Enigma style of teleport. I don't think they're going to introduce any type of game-breaking mechanics like that into Diablo 4. I honestly can't see it happening. I could be wrong, but I don't see them doing that. I think they're way too focused on things being I guess fair, baseline fair, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see what happens. That's just my guess. So next we're going to look at the number 2 abilities. The first one we have is Frost Nova. And as you can tell by most of these, you know what class of skills that they are based on the name of the skill themselves. So Frost Nova, 24-second cooldown, unleash a torrent of frost freezing nearby enemies. Now, this is not chilling, this is freezing them. When you hit them with Frost Nova, they're immediately frozen, so frozen enemies cannot move or attack. Enemies can be frozen by repeatedly chilling them. So, yeah, they can't move or attack, it's shuts them down completely. Good stuff, good fun. Next, we have Lightning Spear. Lightning Spear has a cooldown of 20, and it says conjures a crackling spear of lightning that seeks out enemies for 6 seconds, dealing X amount of damage per hit, so continuous damage over time. And next, we have Ice Blades, which is a mana cost of 20. Conjure Ice Blades for 12 seconds that rapidly slash enemies for X amount of damage and chills them. And then last one we have here is we have Hydra. So Hydra summons a 3-headed Hydra for 12 seconds, and it costs 20 mana, and each head spits fire at a nearby enemy, dealing X amount of damage. So a lot of these are very, very, what's the word? Like, you come to expect these. When you play a source, you come to expect a lot of these abilities to just be in their toolkit. So nothing really too surprising, too out of the ordinary. There's a lot of harkening back to the good old days, but yeah, I think it's really cool that a lot of the abilities are familiar with the class. So let's go ahead and read through these last 6 abilities that they have for us. Last one is going to be, or one of the last ones rather, is going to be Firewall. So it's a mana cost of 40, and it says create a wall of flames, dealing X amount of damage to enemies over 8 seconds. So it's a damage over time effect. Then we have a Nova, which is a lightning ability. And Nova, after spending 145 mana, you unleash a burst of lightning that deals X amount of damage. So that one is just a passive. It's not even a castable one. It's just one that happens as you're spending mana. So that could be cool. That could be an interesting ability to use. Then the last one we have to see here in the Mastery, which is your number 3 skills, is going to be Meteor. Meteor has a mana cost of 40, and it says summons a meteor that strikes the target location, dealing a large amount of damage from what I can see, and the ground burns for X amount of damage over 3 seconds. And as you level it up, both the burning damage and the initial impact damage is going to increase with this ability that we can see now. So these abilities here are the last ones that we can look at. This is our ultimate abilities. I don't know why I almost said that word extremely awkwardly, but these are going to be the last 3 abilities that we have to look at for the source, and the last 3 abilities we have to look at all in Diablo 3 yet. So hopefully we see some more stuff coming out soon. That way we have, you know, some more unique things to go over, some new things to go over. We will have one more video after this, so don't worry. You got one more after this video going over the talent trees for the Sorceress, but let's worry about the here and the now, and let's read through Deep Freeze. So Deep Freeze is the ultimate cold ability, and it says a cooldown of 60 seconds. Encase yourself in ice, becoming immune for 4 seconds. For the duration, you emanate chilling waves that deal a very small amount of damage. This freezes enemies 58% longer than normal. So it's basically Ice Block with a slowly stacking Frozen Nova, where the Frozen Nova chills and then stacks up to a freezing. So that's seemingly pretty cool. I myself am pretty fond of the Diablo 2 Frost Source style. I can't play a Frozen or a Frost Mage in WoW to save my life. I've been trying to. I tried to on private servers. I try to in even normal WoW, like retail WoW. I can't wrap my head around Frost Mage. Like, I do shit damage with the Frost Mage. I switch over to Arcane and I just melt faces. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't know. But I really love the class fantasy of the Frost Mage. I digress. Let's get back once again. I do that a lot, back on topic. So Inferno. Inferno is a cooldown of 30 seconds, and it is the fire ultimate, and it says ignite a roaring inferno that pulses in and out of the target area, burning enemies for X amount of damage over 8 seconds. So, you know, it seems like something that's going to pulls get wider and smaller, so that could be potentially cool, I guess. You know, we'll have to wait and see how it works out, how it looks, how it plays, how it functions, how fun it is, or how not fun it is. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Last one we have here, though, is we have Conduit. So Conduit is going to be the Lightning Ultimate, and it says it's got a cooldown of 90 seconds, so a minute and a half cooldown. That's the longest one that we have. It says you become Lightning Incarnate. While in this form, you are immune, and nearby enemies are continually shocked for X amount of damage, and you can surge quickly between locations. But it doesn't say how long. That's I wish that it would tell us how long that it lasts for, because that seems like it could be really cool, but we don't have any way to tell, you know, is it 3 seconds? Is it 14 seconds? Is it, you know, 32 seconds? Like, how long do we have? Is it worth using it or not? Like, is the 90-second cooldown really worth it? Or is it something that, you know, for 5 seconds you're really powerful and immune, but then you have nothing for the next minute and a half? I don't know. Well, like I said many times throughout these videos, this is a first look, so we'll just have to see how we're looking later on. So that's going to conclude the Sorceress skills. If you guys like this video, please consider liking and subscribing, all that good shit. The links, if you want to show any type of monetary support or come over and join the Discord, are down in the description below. Yeah, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my day. I'm out!